Happy hump day, everybody. Hope all is well with you and yours. Thanks for stopping by. Also, check out my YouTube channel. I'm Jamie Tyler, and this is the Thing. Okay, today we're gonna have a little NFL, little music, and of course, the election watch. Okay. So we're going to start with the NFL. Which rookie quarterback is having the better year so far? Okay, so you have Caleb Williams going number one to the Bears. They are 1-2. Williams and the Bears are struggling. They won their first game against the Titans and losing to the Texans and the Colts. In the 3 games, he has thrown for 630 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. His last game was his most productive game, going 33 for 52 for 363 yards, the second most passing yards this year. But there's a reason why the Bears had the number 1 pick overall. They aren't that good, at least not at the moment. Okay, then you have Bo Nix. Bo Nix was picked by the Broncos. They are 1-2. Winning their last game against the Buccaneers. This year, Nix has thrown for 600 yards, no touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Yes, it ain't looking too good for Nix up there with the Broncos, but hey, as I say, it's the long season. Now, the rookie who's having the best year so far over these 3 games are the Commanders. You know, the other rookies are struggling, but the Commanders have Jaden Daniels. He isn't struggling. Not now. Not in these 3 games. The Commanders are 2-1 with a big win over the Bengals on Monday Night Football. Daniels has thrown for 664 yards, 2 touchdowns, and not an interception. So he's played 3 games and haven't thrown an interception. That's pretty impressive for that young quarterback. To go 3 games with the pressure on you and he doesn't throw an interception, hey, it's pretty good, young man. But like I said, there's plenty of games left, so let's see how it all plays out. For now, Jaden Daniels is playing better than the other rookies and a lot of the quarterbacks that aren't rookies. So, he's playing better than the quarterback of my team, the Browns. But the Browns' offensive line is like Swiss cheese right now. That brother Watson is running for his life. That guy got sacked 8 times last game. A total shame. Just total shame. Who pays these guys to block? I mean, good gracious, man. You're going to get somebody killed. You can't block no better than that. If you can't block no better than that, Deshaun Watson, I'm not going to say you're in for a long year because, bro, hopefully you'll make it through the year, but the way they hitting on you and taking you to the ground, I don't know. Hopefully you'll be all right. You get Nick Chubb back. The Browns get Nick Chubb back. That'll take some pressure off the offensive line. Because one thing I know they can't do is pass block. and the running backs for the Browns, they're not getting it done too much. Not enough at all. Okay, so that's it for that portion of the NFL. Okay, little music. Some things that you may not know in music. Okay? Now, did you know that Jimi Hendrix played for Little Richard? Huh? I'm sure some folks knew. During one of Little Richard's shows, Little Richard was out there doing his thing, and the crowd was going wild. But a little wilder than usual. So Richard, playing on the piano, turned around and saw Jimi Hendrix back there playing the guitar behind his head, behind his back, all kinds of ways. And that's why the crowd was going crazy. Hendrix was killing them. But Little Richard was pissed, Richard told Hendrix, I don't ever want you to see you doing that stuff again. Eventually, Little Richard fired him. Hendrix, man, Hendrix can't contain himself. Little Richard beating on the 88s, and Hendrix catch the feeling, and Hendrix is a showman also. But Little Richard said, there ain't but one showman on this stage. When I'm on it, I'm the showman. So Hendrix had to go. Okay. Now, did you know that Luther Vandross, that's Luther, some call him Luther, but Luther Vandross was a member of the group Shades of Jade. Yes, and they appeared in the pilot episode and other episodes of Sesame Street. Yes, Luther was on Sesame Street when it first came out. I saw a few clips from that on YouTube. Luther could sing. Back then, of course he could. He could always sing. Probably born singing. That cat had a voice. So, now, did you know that Roberta Flack fired Luther? Her reason to him was, you're just too talented to be a backup singer. Yeah, too talented. And Luther was a backup. He was a session singer. Everybody would hire him to sing background. Everybody, Stevie Wonder, Roberta Flack, Dionne Warwick, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, just everybody. He was singing backup and was loving it. Didn't need the spotlight, but everybody pushed him on out there. They said, man, you got to get up out of here. You got to go and do your own thing. So Luther went out on his own, and with Never Too Much hitting the stores, coming out, that album, his first album, Never Too Much, took the world by storm. Yes, Luther did. He did. That album shot him all the way up through the stratosphere. He kept going. Yeah. So Luther got his start as the backup singer to a bunch of people. But, everybody was pushing him out there. Dionne Warwick told him, look, you just can't sing backup for me no more. You got to get out there and do your thing, Luther. So Luther, he went out there and he did his thing, and he did it to the best of his ability. And the best of his ability is great. Luther was great. Okay. Now, did you know that Jermaine Jackson left the Jackson 5? Huh? Did you? So, yeah, the Jackson 5 were not happy with the royalty situation at Motown. They think that they were getting shortchanged. Plus, Motown, their thing was to put out singles. And, of course, the group would get more money if they put out albums. So, they had a disagreement about that, and for the lack of creative control that they had. You know, Barry Gordy ran a tight ship. You know, you got to do it my way. I built this and I'm making money, so there's no need to change. But Jackson 5 were getting older. So they wanted more money. You know, little Michael Jackson, it ain't bubblegum and candy no more. These kids are growing up. So they decided to leave Motown for Epic Records, because Epic Records concentrated more on making albums, which would make the Jacksons more money and more royalties. So Jermaine at the time was married to Barry Gordy's daughter, Hazel Gordy. So he didn't want to seem disloyal to his father-in-law. So he stayed, and the Jacksons left without him and replaced him with his brother, Randy, and they became the Jacksons, no longer the Jackson 5, because Barry Gordy said, "You can leave, but the name stays here." Oh, God. Sound like some other cat. Yeah, Barry Gordy said, "Y'all can leave, but I own the name." Okay, so they became the Jacksons. They became the Jacksons. So I wonder if you knew this. I wonder if you knew that James Brown fired his band, replaced them with a band called House Guest. I wonder if you knew that was Bootsy Collins and his brother Catfish Collins' band. Did you know that? I know the Funketeers are saying, of course we did. Tell us something we didn't know. But yes, the great Bootsy Collins and his brother Catfish Collins in our band was James Brown's band. And they was kicking it. Okay. If you didn't know, now you know. Now you know. Some things you may not have known. Okay. The election watch. So more Republicans are endorsing Vice President Harris. Now, Arizona Republicans are. So Trump and J.D. Vance can fool some of the people some of the time, some of the people all the time. But a lot of people, they can't fool at all. Not at all. As they are trying to fool us, they're out there looking like total fools. Nothing makes sense that comes out of that camp. Nothing. Raising terrorists makes no sense. Taking away a woman's rights makes no sense. Having candidates like that guy Robinson for governor in North Carolina, that's what he's running for. Having that guy on a ticket just makes no sense, regardless of what the ticket is. If it has anything to do with government, he should not be there. If it has anything to do with getting elected, who do you think wants to elect that guy for governor? Not even most of the Republicans want that. So, but hey, we will see. So yes, that makes no sense. That Robinson cat, he makes no sense. And y'all remember Herschel Walker. Now tell me, what sense did Herschel Walker make? I mean, what kind of sense did Herschel make? He made no sense. Nothing. Running for senator. I mean, I know that's in the past, but it's just how these cats are rolling. They just make no sense. Now, although these guys are out here acting like they're losing it, the race is still close. We are still the underdog. It's always a battle, an uphill battle in a race such as this, where lying, racism, bigotry, amongst other things, are not a deal breaker. You know, racism, bigotry, that's not a deal breaker. So this race is tight. And we've seen the show before. You know, we did what we had to do to elect President Biden. So let's do the same for Vice President Harris and Governor Walz. No time to rest, time to move forward, time to keep on keeping on. And let's get out there and vote. Let's get out there and elect Vice President Harris and Governor Walz. That's our mission. You know, that's the mission. And like I always say, let's do it for the children. All right. Thanks for stopping by again. And have a great evening. And a great day. And I will see you tomorrow. Peace.